Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is the day after the Christmas. I hope you had a fabulous Christmas and also equally fabulous week is on the card. I hope so for all of you. Now, as we get started for today's session of correlation and regulation, let's consider the developments so far. And when I was looking at the charts prior to the start of the session, I found that there is not much of a movement and the spread is also higher. So this is kind of expected given the fact that most of the major markets, the equity markets, are closed and we have the forex markets open. Of course, that's the necessity. So in any case, the forex currency transactions are ongoing, but there is not much of an move. And as I said, the spread is higher, so we will have to be careful before entering into any trade. But if we have to assess the development so far and see what is the trajectory of these moves, then we can take the help of these moves in the USD JPY and Euro USD in particular to get the idea of the momentum in dollar, and then we can compare these moves with other major currencies to figure out if we have the bullish tendency or for that matter the bearish tendency in the currency instrument of our choice, and whether on relative terms it is on the stronger side or on the weaker side. We can make that assessment, and accordingly we can decide to trade or skip the trade. So let's get started. The USD JPY has been continuing to rise after falling to the 130 levels, sub 130 levels. It has rebounded, and for last couple of sessions, it has been forming these higher highs and higher lows. Today, it is continuing with the same trend after making the low closer to 132.3. It has rebounded well. It has gained almost close to 100 pips, not exactly 100 pips, but thereabout, and that's substantial gains given the fact that we have this session where there is not much of an momentum, but even in the absence of market participants active participation, we have the USD JPY climbing on the higher side. The liquidity is low, but still the move is substantial on this count. And now, if we have to think about going for the trade in coming hours, then I think it is better to keep looking for buy on dips strategy in the USD JPY as long as it doesn't really break past this immediate swing low, which is there around 132.30. We will have to keep looking for the buying opportunity, but at the moment it is slightly in declining momentum, and we will have to allow it to stabilize. And if it is able to hold above 132.5, and if it consolidates, almost goes sideways, and as and when it will start to pick up the momentum again, I think we will be better placed both in terms of the risk and reward, and as well as about getting the momentum right. So let's start comparing these major currencies, including the Euro USD, AUD USD, GBP USD, NZD USD, and along with this, also the USD CAD, USD CHF, and we are already taking a look on the USD JPY. So let's consider the momentum on the lower time frame charting. Here, there is the chart with the 5-minute candlestick time frame, and along with that, I have added the SMA 24 and SMA 12 to get the average price prevailing over last 2 hours and 1 hour respectively. To look at the range of these moves, this Donkin channel 24 is in place, which gets us the range for last 2 hours, and along with that we have the Donkin channel 48, which gets us the range for last 4 hours. Now, if we consider this move in the afternoon session, here, I think it is in line with this prior trajectory with the formation of higher highs, and now as it is showing some correction from the higher side, we will have to watch out for this immediate momentum. If, as I said earlier, also in introductory remarks, it is important for the USD JPY to stabilize and hold above or closer to the 132.5 5 level, and as long as it is holding about those levels, we have to go ahead and keep looking for the opportunities where we can go for a long trade. Now, before we decide to go long in the USD JPY, of course, we have to see if this is the best placed instrument, the currency cross, or whether we have a better opportunity awaiting us in other major currencies. So now that we have decided the USD JPY, or you can say in the larger context, the USD is on the stronger footing, which is showing the bullish tendency, and JPY is on the weaker side. And let's start comparing this with the other major currencies trading against the dollar. So let's compare the Euro USD. For the euro, the momentum is apparently sideways. Let's see the story on the hourly candlestick time frame. Here, it is not breaking past these prior swing high and swing lows. It has been trading in this narrow range of around 50-60 pips for many days now, particularly after 16th of October, December. It has been trading within this range, and also a couple of days back, I had covered the Euro USD's charting pattern, where I had said that unless and until there is any significant break above these crucial levels, we will have to keep looking for exploiting these range. So that's the story in today's session also. Now we are finding resistance closer to this immediate swing high. In today's session, the price gains have been capped around 1.063, and I think here, now that it is consolidating without showing much of a stronger bias on the higher side, we can indeed think about going for a short sell trade. But in today's session, the moves are likely to be very limited. We have to keep that in mind, and as the moves are likely to be short and curtailed, we have to trade accordingly. So as long as it is holding well below this 1.066 range, I think we do have the chance to go for short sell trades. And as we have USD on stronger side in today's session, we can be hopeful of the continuation of the strength in the US dollar. And as we are finding the Euro USD closer to the upper range of this consolidation phase, we can take our chances. But as I said, we do have to watch out for this immediate swing high, and if there is a break above swing high, then we will have to let go of this strategy. So if you are looking for a trade in today's session in Euro USD, it is to be better taken with the short sale bias. You can try to exploit this current scenario with shorting or thinking about shorting Euro USD closer to the current levels, anywhere closer to 1.064 should be a good place to go short, while keeping the stop loss just little above the immediate swing high. And on the lower side, we can expect it to decline at least toward this immediate swing low, if not much far from that. So we will be, in a way, trading within the range. We are not really looking for the breaking of the new ground on either side. We are simply trying to exploit the existing range of the Euro USD. Now we have to define whether the Euro is more bearish or the JPY is more bearish against the dollar. And for that, we will have to look at the relative price trajectory of these two currencies against the US dollar. The JPY depreciated significantly in today's session, even up in the absence of depth. It has risen substantially from the day's low point. If we were to take a look again, here the day's low is coming in at 132.30. From that level, it climbed 90 pips. Now it is going into a corrective phase, and let's compare its trajectory with the Euro USD. The Euro USD also gained around the same time. Prior to that, if we look at the Euro USD trajectory, I think we will do well to give first preference to the USD JPY as Euro didn't really decline much in today's session. It has been mostly going sideways, and then there's a reversal, or you can say consolidation phase moves on the higher side have gotten it closer to the day's high. So in that context, the JPY is apparently better placed. The USD JPY has not been able to gain the lost ground. The JPY has been depreciating throughout the day. It has corrected somewhat from the higher level, but USD JPY is on a stronger side for any trade to be taken with the expectations of the further strength for US dollar. So instead of shorting the Euro USD, I think the preference can be given for going long in the USD JPY as JPY is more bearish compared to the euro against the dollar in today's session. Before we can conclude about the USD JPY, of course, we have to consider other major currencies trading against the dollar. And if we consider the AUD USD, apparently it is slightly on the stronger side even compared to the euro. So there is no question of placing it ahead of the JPY. Let's see its price trajectory on the hourly candlestick time frame. It is somewhat similar to what we saw in case of the Euro USD. It is still holding below this immediate swing high, which is there around 0.6767. Now it is consolidating for better part of this session with the up gains being capped around 0.6727. So we do have the buffer on the higher side, even if we were to go for the short sell trade in the AUD USD. But then we have better opportunity in the USD JPY. So though the larger picture is still bearish for the AUD against the dollar, AUD USD is more likely to decline than rise from the current level. We have the JPY as our first preference as it is more bearish even compared to the AU after making this low just little below 1.2 level. Now as it is climbing on the upside, we have to keep this prior swing high in mind, which is on the higher side. Now if we have to indeed go for the trade in the GBP, let's consider its immediate price moves, whether it is acting bearish or not, we will have to define. And just a while back, it has formed the day's high. So in that context, I think the day's high. So in that context, I think we can't place it on the more in today's session. So for any trade to be taken, the USD still remains a better idea compared to the swing low. But it has not shown much of an tendency to rise from the current levels. So we have to give the first preference to the JPY for shorting against the dollar. So you can go long in the USD JPY, and that still remains the best bet of all the major currencies. These little bit of more work, and that makes the job interesting. So right now there are not many opportunities emerging against the US dollar. Rather, the momentum is with the US dollar. So I think it is better to go with the flow and keep looking for buying opportunity in the USD JPY, as it is apparently the best placed currency cross, with the JPY weakness being much more apparent compared to the other major currencies against US dollar. And as there is no equity market opening for the North American trading session, also, I will wrap up the session with these currencies only. Maybe tomorrow, after the start of North American trading session, we will see some activity. As for the European trading session, the most of the equity markets are also closed in the euro. So only after the start of North American trading session, we will see some activity, some momentum returning to the market. So tomorrow the session is likely to be a lot more interesting to compared to what we saw in today's session. So do come back, have a fabulous day and the week ahead. See you tomorrow.